Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. You know what I say on Instagram? You know what I say? Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. I'm sure you can hear me, but I just want to see those ones coming up in here. Make sure when you come in here, you make sure you like, you share, and you definitely like, you share, because I have a very important guest here today. And as the title says, uh, we are going to talk about Christian Keys, and we're going to talk about the video that he posted on his Instagram page. And as many of you've seen, there have been other people that have been suggested that he's talking about, and we want to just talk about that. But we want to talk about not from an emotional standpoint or just from speculation, but I want to delve into with my guests, and we want to break down this video and see whether or not there's a crime that has occurred and who may be the culprit. Is it Christian Keys? They say, why Christian Keys? Or is it one of these other individuals that people have suggested in the comment section? And I know you're probably saying, Byron, why would Christian Keys be a suspect in a criminal probe? Well, I'm not saying he's a suspect in a criminal probe. I just want to talk about the video and what I deducted from the video. As someone who's covered criminal investigations, crimes, in courtrooms all the time, and what will actually stick versus what is said, what is speculation by the many millions or thousands and thousands of commenters, and what is actual reality, and what can be proven versus what is said. Now, I'm not making light of the possibility that this young man could possibly have been as he said, attempted essay. I'm gonna use the essay. I'm gonna use the essay. I'm not gonna say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Mexicans. I'm not talking about blacks. I'm talking about SA. You know what I'm talking about. We're gonna talk about it. I don't want to hear about. I got recordings. I don't want to hear about all this what someone says, because until you see it, it didn't happen. Until you see it, I won't say that didn't happen. I'll just say we need to see a lot of stuff before we jump out the window. Don't jump out the window. But without any further ado, I want to bring in my guest, former prosecutor, sometimes magistrate judge, as well as a very respected attorney in the Texas area, attorney Thelma Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you show a round of applause. I know you're clapping wherever you are, but make sure you are showing love to this young lady here, someone that I actually had the opportunity to be on the platform with, discussing another topic. But let me bring up Thelma. Are you there?
I am here.
Counselor, how are you today? I know Sunday.
I am blessed.
I know Sunday we're talking about a topic that people don't really want to talk about on Sunday. They prefer to be reading their Bible, or going to church and so forth. Mm-hmm. But this is something that I thought was important to talk about. And I typically talk about cases that are actually a case. Mm-hmm. There are actually cases. This is actually not a case. Yeah, right now, this is not a case yet. There's no civil court filing, nor is there a criminal arrest warrant. I don't know if there's a criminal investigation as of yet. Yeah. But right now, there's someone on the internet, a well-known actor who has actually went on his page and discussed some things that sounded pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
But what I was looking for is, first question I asked myself is, why is he on social media talking about this and not actually pursuing the things that he actually mentioned in it? Mm-hmm. It raised a few flags for me. There also was a reference to some high-profile people in Hollywood. There's several.
Yeah,
worth billions. Not just one. It's not exclusive to one. So now people are playing a process of elimination. Well, today, I was sent something that suggests that someone could be excluded, and the person could be excluded would be Tyler Perry. And I even hate to even add his name to this, but because there was so many people kept on saying Tyler Perry, Tyler Perry, Tyler Perry. I'm like, wait a minute. This man hadn't even said Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
He hadn't even said Tyler Perry. He hasn't named anyone. And what I want to say is that just seeing that all the people that has mentioned Tyler Perry, as well as a few other people, I think it's kind of reckless or irresponsible not to name a person at this point, because you have several individuals that people randoms they are saying that it's Tyler Perry. Well, I asked and through a comment where I add him, and I said, you read the comments, you respond to the comments. So here's a comment for you. You see the multiple people that are saying Tyler Perry, and you're not responding. They have also said other people. I think that is dangerous because with everything that's occurred in the last couple of weeks with the civil suit that have been actually filed, ones which has been adjudicated outside of the court.
Mhm.
We're talking about Cassie Ventura and Puff Daddy's lawsuit. One of the lawsuits, one that has been resolved. We have to be very careful how we play with these algorithms out there, and how people will run with something without really having nothing that is concrete. I hear people saying, well, he has a recording. He said, I have a recording. Okay. We're going to recognize the name. He said it's a name that's someone that we can distinguish who is by listening to the recording. He's also said, and I'm looking at the way he had said it, and actually we do have some footage. Hold on, can I play some of the this is free use. This is something on social media, free use. So let's listen to some of what he said. Let's dive into exactly what he said and how he said it and the way he put it out there.
Let me cut the TV down, because they don't need to be this loud. What's going on, y'all? I want to talk to you about some stuff, and it's been on my heart, so I want to speak on it. All right. Good evening. I hope everybody's doing amazing. I've been speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience. What I experienced with certain powers that be that were moving inappropriately. And I really, it's in my bone marrow to discuss that, because thankfully God built me the way that he built me, but I'm not sure, based on this person's claims and brags, that he's literally got, at the same time this person was sexually harassing me for years.
Okay, I want to pause it there. I guess I can continue. So let's just talk about that, what he said. What did you take from that part, just that part, what he said there?
I mean, I'll just say it's very triggering to hear that someone has experienced something like that. What I took initially from it was this man was ready to tell his story, was ready to put the bodies that have been buried, bring them up and bury them to let us know who these individuals are. That's what I initially got from it. That's just from the beginning, the intro, because he used that emotion to bring us in, because we're already still running high on the Diddy situation and the other individuals, the Jamie Foxxes, everybody, that now we're like, We knew that at some point a man was going to come forward. So that's the initial emotion. I'm like, oh, okay, finally a man has come forward. We're about to, the system is about to get exposed even more. So that was my initial thoughts.
Now, mind you, that was your initial thoughts. Let's go back and listen.
He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there. And clearly that's why it felt to him that it was okay to say these things. And I want to have these discussions. I want to be transparent with y'all about that. I've done my best to forgive this person, but it happens. It happens. It's not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be men tempting men. And that's why a lot of my posts over the last few years have been about taking the scenic route, taking the long way around, because if that means that you can.
I'm pausing that for a second. I see some of the comments, but we're not dropping the proof just yet. So you got to stay in here. We ain't dropping the proof just yet, but we got the proof. We got the proof. So be patient. We ain't running, jumping out there right away. You just can't come in here and just want the proof right away. We ain't doing that. But we want to do an analysis leading up to the proof. So be patient. Don't just jump in there. I came to get the proof and I'm going to leak. Nah. You're going to hit the like, the share, and you're going to listen to the entire stream. And then we're going to drop the proof. So be patient.
Carry your integrity with you then. And it's 11:11. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another opportunity to connect with you. Please forgive my sins, my shortcomings, my bad decisions, and my mistakes. Please continue to guide and protect us as only you can. Everybody that's watching, it's not a presentation. If I see 11:11, I try to have another conversation with God. So thank you, Heavenly Father. I appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen. That's interesting. But there are.
I want to pause it one more time. What I'm not saying is I don't believe something. I'm not saying I don't believe something happened to this man. That's not what I'm saying. So I want people not to conflate. My energy was suggesting that I'm saying nothing happened to this man. I've never said that. And I want to be very clear for those in the back of the bus, on that yellow bus, who are saying the opposite of what I'm saying. Listening is key. Let's go.
Are people that will and have and will continue to, unfortunately, offer these things. And some of them are your heroes. Some of them are people who y'all like, oh yeah, such and such is amazing, and he does this and he does that. Yeah, but he also does this and that. At some point soon, it's gonna have to come out. I've kept one of these on me since 2005. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, you know, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police, because sexual harassment is a crime. Attempted sexual assault is a felony.
Let's talk about that part right there. So what he says in this video is that he suggests that he signed an NDA. He signed an NDA.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that. And remember, we're gonna pin that. He signed an NDA. He also makes references what is a crime and what's not a crime. But I want you to listen further, because we're gonna come back to that NDA. So it looks like my guess, her stream has went out, but she'll come back in. I don't know if I should I wait for her, because I know she's gonna come back in. Her stream went out. Put a 1 in the chat if I should wait for my guest to come back in, or put a 2 in the chat if I should continue on. I think I don't want to keep the guests. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So I'm gonna put a 2 and I'm gonna keep on playing. Let's go. She'll come back in.
And Tams, you literally just asked, why do we as Black people have to deal with that? But sometimes it's our own people.
They told me to wait for you. I was about. They said wait for you.
I was trying to read the comments and I missed and swiped out.
Listen. Don't read the comments.
They're going down in the comments.
They said 2. She'll be back. Okay, here we go.
Sometimes it's our own heroes. Sometimes it's the very people we deify, and we look up like, oh, they're doing so much. They're doing so much. No, they're also doing this. And my only reservation about naming the people, you know, there was directors along the way like, hey, you know, you read for this, that, and the other. You want to come back up to the apartment? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You got my headshot, my resume, and I'm good. You know if I can handle that or not. You know I can kill that, but I don't need to come up to your apartment. We already had the audition. There's other people that I want to say everything, and my brother was like, nah, not yet. I want to tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere. I want to.
So, correct me, am I wrong? Are you hearing what I'm hearing? It sounds like, and what remember I said pin the NDA, but it sounds like he's suggesting that other people have tried him.
What you mean, other people?
He's not just saying exclusive one person. He's saying,
oh no, he said it's multiple people in the industry.
Right. So the NDA would only be applicable to the person who hadn't signed the NDA. There are other people that likely may not have signed the NDA.
Well, an NDA, depending on if it was signed for the company's purposes, if these individuals are actually working for the individual whose company is being protected under that NDA, then they too can be covered.
Right. So he goes on. I want you to listen to what he says as he goes on.
Speak on it. And the good news is that they don't even have to believe me. Hopefully they would, but even if they don't, they can hear this person. Since sexual harassment started, I've carried many recorder devices on me, keychains, pens, thumb drives with a charged battery that get 6, 7, 8 hours, all the above. So I have the conversations. I really want to air that shit out because it bothers me when I'm alone at night. Like, man, the world is celebrating this person and they don't even know the shady and predatory way in which this person moves, and the way that, predators resent the prey that gets away. So when you don't say yes, when you don't say, okay, I'll acquiesce and, sign up and literally and figuratively play ball, because we're not doing that, they resent you. This is a conversation we're going to have, and we're going to have soon, because it bothers me in my spirit that I can forgive people. That's one thing. But yeah, P, we don't play ball. That's my brother in there. And he knows the real deal. He knows the who. I'm good. Somebody said, you don't look okay. I'm okay. I have peace. I'm literally strategically planning my next 8 moves. I'm good. God got me, because he was watching when I was offered these opportunities and I didn't say yes. I didn't sell my soul or my ass. Excuse my French, y'all. I know some of y'all, hopefully y'all have no kids around, but I didn't sell nothing for success. It's like, nah, that's not what I want. I ain't into that. I ain't into dudes. I got an only beard in the bed policy. Mine is the only beard in the bed. Yeah,
I have the same policy.
We ain't doing none of that. I don't get out like that. And these people kept on for years. Sexual harassment is a crime. Attempted sexual assault is a felony. And where I'm at now is that.
Okay, so let's talk about statute of limitation, not on the civil side, but on the criminal side. He said the civil side expired in a sexual assault claim. For example, in California, do you know what the sexual assault statute of limitation would be in California, and which one runs out first, the civil aspect or the criminal aspect?
Well, civil automatically runs out, I believe, after 2 years of
3 years in Georgia, I believe.
I think it's 2. Hold on, because I know the statute of limitation customarily for sex assault cases are between 10 to 20 years, depending on the state. So let me look up California. Actually, I have it up right here. 10 years.
10 years.
Within 10 years from the date of the last act, attempted act, or assault with the intent to commit the act. So he may still have grounds to file a criminal case, because if these things happen and still are happening and has happened within the last 10 years, which would be 2013, if these things happen between 2013, 2014, he still has the ability.
Right.
The limitation. He has until December 31st.
So that person or persons would know that just based on their knowing their location and then knowing the statute of limitation in the criminal code.
Yeah.
So my question is, if this is is he going to dangle the criminal aspect out on social media, or is he going to actually act on it because he says he has evidence?
Yeah.
That's the question that many people have. It's no point in dangling something if you're actually speaking on it, because at some point people are going to call you out and say, listen, you have the ability to protect others based on you having a knowledge of a potential crime that may still be occurring. So that's the problem there. If you have something that you know that you can protect others, but you just, I'm using the word dangling lightly, but wouldn't you think it would make sense for him to, if he's talking about this, you want to help others, then take the next step and help others?
I think there is a fine line when telling someone who has experienced any kind of attempted sexual assault or harassment how they should plan their next move.
Right.
It's a real fine line, because these individuals have had to have episodes, have to recall it, have to feel every emotion that has come with this experience. So the one thing I tell people when we're talking about individuals who have encountered a crime that has been committed against them, they get to seek justice however they see fit. Now, when you put it out in the public, you know you have to be prepared that you're going to get people that have opinions on how you're actually doing what you're doing to seek whatever justice that you are trying to seek for yourself. So the opinions are going to be there. So you have to be careful of how you put information out, regardless of if you have been a victim or not, because the public's opinion is going to either work for you in your favor or it's going to work against you, because people are going to have questions that you are not ready to actually bring out. So if you're not ready to bring it out, lay low, gather your next moves, and then do it when you see fit. But to do it in such a public form as a warning and having us in a chokehold, it does nothing for the people that actually want to support you. Because if this individual is still out here doing it, not only are you adding more trauma to yourself because you didn't do anything about it, you didn't say anything about it, but more victims are being added along the way. And it could have been prevented, and it still can. But if you continue to hold it as long as you are, then what are we as the public supposed to do with it?
Exactly. And that I think that was my point of this. Not, like I'm waiting for, you dropping the shoe, you got to drop the shoe, not, dangle the shoe, drop the shoe, because you can help other people. That was my only issue about this. Not saying he didn't do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not blaming him, but especially in this day and age, it's more prevalent to when you have social media. You didn't have social media 25 years ago. You didn't have that. You have it now. So now you have multiple people that are looking at this. And I'm not saying he's doing this for clout chasing. I'm not saying that his numbers have grown substantial since he said this. While they have, but I'm not saying that was done for that sole purpose. But we need to be able to make sure people are not just saying things and not really following through with the things they're saying. And that's because I just covered a defamation case just last week. And it was the person who was being accused of something, turns out the person wasn't doing what the person said. The other person was very loud, very proud, and going hard on social media and everything. But the jury saw otherwise.
Yeah.
But this guy's name was dragged through the mud, but he was finally vindicated after he got in front of a jury.
Yeah.
So people got to understand that this pendulum goes either way.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
It's the counsel culture also, which you have to be conscious about that. And, I can't say this enough. If Diddy would not have settled, I mean, if he would have settled behind closed doors, would we have this massive influx of cases and things that are coming down within the entertainment industry that everybody has pretty much been aware of behind closed doors? If Diddy would have tucked his tail, would we have everyone with the ability to come forward and be comfortable with taking powerful men in this industry down? I don't think so. I think Diddy arrogance and his hunger for power has opened up a floodgate. And it's open even more because he's a Black man. He's a Black man in power. He's a Black man with money. So we knew that this was only setting the frame for other individuals to be exposed. Now, with this recent video of Christian, it leaves open for interpretation. And that is something that is very dangerous when it's our culture, it's our people, because now individuals who probably are not even attached to it are being attached. And do you not know how it's unfair to them? Because you cannot undo comments. You cannot undo people's opinions once you put it out there. So that's my only thing. You have to be very careful, even as a victim, because you want to make sure the right individual is being held accountable for what they're doing and not dragging into it.
Facts. And so the framework was set with the settlement, and not just the settlement, but the framework was set in New York in particular with Governor with the surviving thing. However, again, there's two sides to a coin. There's a lot of people say, why is all these people rushing for it now just before this thing is about to expire? Well, it could be for the actual reason that it has happened, or it can be because people are trying to financially gain for it. Because this is a civil lawsuit. The results of a civil lawsuit, if someone prevails, is a financial win. But it's also, in the case, for example, with Rudy Giuliani, he just was a judge $148 million for defaming Rudy Freeman and Shane Moss.
Yeah.
They're not going to get $48 million, but it's the symbolic judgment that people can benefit from. And just say, I got $148 million from a former mayor of New York from saying the most egregious things about me with no proof. That's why when you say something, he says he has proof. He says that.
He says, yeah. He says proof, yeah.
But what he doesn't say is who it is. So we would expect, I would hope that within a small window that he actually puts this to bed. Not to keep us out there for, hold on, don't keep us out there for a whole year. Don't speculate. Don't do that. Because now we're going to look at you kind of, side-eye, like, dude, you said this, and you have all these people naming different people in the comment section, but you never said it. So we expect you at some point to make hold that person accountable. We expect that. And then that person can respond and put up a defense or say, yeah, I did that. But the audio would pretty much, if there's actual proof and you have audio, then that pretty much will, let me ask you, as an attorney, would you, if you were representing this alleged person, would you tell them to reach out to Mr. Keys and his team to see how this can be resolved if you believe that you might be that person he's talking about?
It's not even a belief. If you know you are that person, you better be on the phone with your lawyers and telling your lawyers it's a fire and we about to get burned down. We got to put this fire out as soon as possible. What is the strategy? Because let me tell you, when you are an individual in power, your team has to have what I call an Olivia Pope crisis management system in place.
Absolutely.
Your clients have to be so comfortable with you to where they're going to tell you all or most of their transgressions, so that you as the attorney can already know when it hits the fan what you have to do.
Right.
Because if you don't have that kind of intimate relationship with your clients, and I tell my clients all the time, I just had a client this morning I had to get on because we're working on a deal, and one of the individuals that is a part of the deal got into a criminal matter that I needed to know. And when my client told me, oh yeah, I knew about this yesterday, I said, well, let me tell you something. I need to know as soon as you know, because if I don't know, how am I going to strategize for you? So that is essentially what the lawyer, whoever this individual is, they have been on the phone with their lawyers all freaking day, night. The lawyers are looking raggedy right now, trying to figure out how they're going to put this fire out because their system is on fire. You're talking about the seeds that he's planting and the water that is needed so these seeds can blossom. That's what is going on. And if they don't get to it and put like a winter storm in it to kill these seeds from being able to be fertilized, it's going to grow and it's going to continue to grow. And then once it grows to the point of where you can't control it, that's your ass.
Right. So you spoke about crisis management, and I've done crisis management for plethora of celebrities. Those I can't even mention their names because of NDAs and so forth. But I've worked on the crisis management side, and the fact that names have been mentioned and it's been thrown out there, I don't wait for something to be filed. I'm going to approach the client and say, hey, this is we might have a problem here because this is what's happening out there on social media. So I would assume that all those names that, the handful of names that have been thrown out there, their crisis managers are approaching them and asking them pointed questions and saying, listen, this individual's out here saying this. We're not saying it's you, but we want to do a process elimination. We want to exclude you. And if we can't exclude you, we want to be able to put a game plan in place to address these issues. That's how you deal with a situation like this.
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming a majority of them, even the one that we're going to show that he's probably we have the proof that he's excluded, and we'll explain why he's excluded. But we ain't give it to you just yet. So you
social media justice. It's social media justice.
This is social media justice. So you're ready for that. You're ready for that proof. You're gonna have to wait. We're gonna give it to you in a minute. But we're gonna listen to the video and just gonna listen to what he says. We ain't giving it to you right away. So if you're here for getting it right away, I got the proof. I'm gonna run and put it on my channel. Nah, not so fast. You gotta wait. Let's go ahead and finish playing some of this.
In the middle of the night, I think about if I'm brave enough to name the person. I'll take a polygraph live. I'll take 5 polygraphs live. And I'll pass all of them because it's the truth. This person is a predator and he's one of several. And it's a shame, man. But I think it's time. I want to, and I know, P, I know you're on here. I want to say everything now. And I have proof. It's not like I'm just making false accusations. I intentionally let the statute of limitations expire. It's not about money.
So, see, he says, I intentionally let the statute of limitation expire. Or you allowed it to expire.
Yeah.
Okay. I
think it adds credibility to his position if people are going to do what they did to Cassie and call her a money grab. He's literally telling you.
No. Hold on, counselor. Hold on. The Cassie
I'm telling you, if people are going to associate him with being money hungry for this. He had every option and the ability with what he has said that he's had all of these years to where he could have done a money grab.
But hold on, no. The Cassie situation was recent. He didn't have the knowledge.
No, I'm not even saying having that knowledge.
Hold on.
I'm not even saying he's using that as a cornerstone to plead his case about the civil matter. We all know the statute of limitation for civil cases is 2 years. He's literally been going through this cycle for so long to where he could have been
allegedly,
based off of his comments in his live that we are viewing. He stated in his live, out of his own mouth, not out of mine, what he has been enduring in this industry. So
I'm saying allegedly with not you, but
yeah. Oh no, I know.
He's making allegations. Allegations.
And I'm making
blind allegations. That's what they are. They're blind allegations.
And I'm confirming that it is from his mouth, his words, in his video. But a person, like I said, the statute of limitation has been expired unless he had something happen to him in New York, where he was part of that cycle that had a whole year. So if something happened in New York, then yes, that he had an additional extension to where he could have used that statute in order for him to bring something forward. But I don't know if anything happened in New York.
I'm asking you a question.
Mm-hmm.
I covered the R. Kelly trial in New York. I covered it at the federal trial in New York. I covered that trial. It wasn't some of the plaintiffs. I don't think anyone sued R. Kelly prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
Some sued him prior to that. But in that, when this case was adjudicated, the victims received financial rewards from the federal criminal side,
mm-hmm.
restitution, and the judge in that case gave the victims financial rewards as part of their justice. Now it wasn't filed, so the statute of limitations. Yeah. I'm not even looking at it right now.
No.
Hold on. Let me get my point out. He can go file a criminal case if there's a crime. He still will be benefiting. You know, he can benefit from getting justice and a financial reward because he can turn around and sue if a jury comes back and say, "Yeah, this guy." He can do that. He still can sue.
So, in the criminal side, restitution can only be awarded if a judge decides that they see fit. He cannot tell the judge, "Hey, I want this amount for my pain and suffering." The judge is the sole discretionary in ordering restitution based off of what they see has happened to individuals that come before them when a case is put on.
Well, the prosecutor, the
prosecutor, but the victim cannot say, "I want $70 million for my pain and suffering."
Right. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that. Counselor.
I hear what you're saying.
What I'm saying is let me say what I'm saying because I didn't say it. What I'm saying is anyone who has followed the R. Kelly case and saw how the victims were awarded the certain amounts, and that was because of the prosecution, the U.S. attorneys on that case, they had said in the beginning, this is what the victims should get based on this, and they asked the judge this. The judge didn't come out and bring that number. This is what they asked for. So I get he's not saying he's looking for a civil payout, but ultimately, if he prevails in this criminal case, the government or the state is the one obviously bringing the case forward. But there is also a likelihood that he can financially get it paid as well.
It's a likelihood, but he cannot tell them what he wants.
Right? No, I ain't saying that.
The state has to make that call, and the judge has to award it. It's not an open and closed kind of thing where you're going to civil and that's the automatic thing that you're going for is money damages. No, it is very discretionary and oftentimes it's denied.
Okay. Oftentimes it's denied. I've seen a lot of times where it wasn't.
Oh no, I've tried over 50 cases. I've asked for restitution. It has been denied several times. And several times it has been granted based off it's the nature of the actual offense and what you put on in order for a judge to come to that decision.
Okay, so I want to. Should I drop the receipts? Not gonna drop the receipts yet. Let's finish listening. We don't want to drop the receipts just yet, but we got the receipts.
But I'm gonna have to take the receipts, the recordings down to the police department. And
when are you taking them down to the police department? That's all people want to know. When?
let them hear this individual. I wasn't working for him in the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off.
Okay, you remember I said we're going to pin the NDA? We pinned the NDA there. He just says here he wasn't working for the person when it's supposed to happen. So why is the NDA even applicable?
Oh, the NDA has a timeline.
No.
You know, what do you mean applicable?
He said early on. That's why I said we're going to pin the NDA part. He was suggested that, you know, the NDA would not absolve anyone from a criminal probe. But he says here he wasn't working with the person, so why would he even mention the reference to an NDA? Because it wouldn't.
That's not how it is legally. When you sign an NDA, there's an expiration for the NDA. So if you sign it and sign it in 2015, they can have a limitation of you not saying anything for 10 years on there. That's a part of NDA. So even if you're not working for them, you're still held to the standard of maintaining that non-disclosure.
That is true. That is true. But Cassie may have signed one as well. We don't know. I would think she would because I think she probably did. I think Cassie signed one.
Of course she signed it. However, criminal trumps a non-disclosure.
Absolutely. Hey, let me remove this spammer out of here real quick here. I'm gonna just ban that person. I'd be banning people as I talk, but here we go.
He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined. Because again, scenic route. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited.
So this is a question for you, counselor. Someone asked, this is a good question, and you know, I didn't want to retouch on it, but someone asked this question. How would recordings hold up in court, especially in California, where it's a two-party state? Just assuming it happened in California. If it's in California, how would that recording be admissible?
Well, it depends. It could be used if the individual testifies. The individual that the recordings are being used to. Also, you only need one person to authenticate the actual recording. If he is a part of the recording, he can authenticate that is what is purported to be.
Well, I'm not talking about authentication, but the privacy,
that's what I'm saying. In order, they ask how will it hold up in court. You only need one person under the federal rules of evidence. Authentication is how you get evidence in majority of the time. And if you have one person, that's just like a text message. When somebody is texting you back and forth and they are making admissions and it's your phone, all you have to do is get the person whose phone it is that they're texting to come in and authenticate the text messages. If you don't have that person, you use the individual that is being accused to authenticate those text messages. You don't have that person, you use the phone company and their subpoenas and things of that nature to authenticate that what is purported to be. So
can they both stipulate that this is my voice and that's his voice, but it was obtained illegally? They
can stipulate to anything. You can make stipulations. But if you're stipulating to that, then you have, when you're talking about privacy, if it's a criminal matter, it's a different ball game.
Okay,
you cannot claim privacy if you are doing something that is criminal in nature.
That's fact. That's a fact. We're not debating that one.
Yeah. So if there is anything that is of criminal nature and it's happened in California or Atlanta, or in the Georgia area, then you cannot absolve yourself and say privacy if you are doing something that is criminal and this person is protecting himself.
So Marty Ma says, my issue with him not providing any names is that low key comes across as blackmail. I won't be surprised if he quietly goes away. Let's see it. Quietly goes. Can you read the rest of that? Because I think
I won't
after
be
getting
surprised.
justice, after getting justice, and that's something that I thought about as well. Because if he decides never to bring this issue up again, people are gonna be like, wait a minute, what is going on here? You got those.
I think he's in too deep. I don't think he can go away quietly now, because what he has essentially said is not only is he tired of what's been going on for all these years, he wants to make sure that no one else is subjected to that. So you are actually putting yourself in the front and center of saying that now you're the crusader and making sure that no one else endures what you've endured. So right. No, the pressure is on. I don't see that how he goes away from this on the low or the high end.
Right, I agree with you. I mean, right now you're on Front Street. You cannot back away now. I don't care how many attorneys are reaching out to you. You're on Front Street now because now it goes to your credibility.
And I wouldn't be surprised if his camp, they have not taken any calls. I know the calls are being. I know the calls are coming in. I know the calls are being made, and they are not so nice calls. They are threats from bigwig lawyers that are put in place to intimidate and scare you because of the money that they're being paid. So this is, and I want people to understand, this has not been a merry-go-round for him. Like, it's not been a walk in the park. When you decide to do this, you know that you're going to be up all night. You're going to be afraid of where you are. You're going to be trying to get in a safe and secret location because now you are a target. So
that part right there.
The amount of fear that he is probably going through right now and anxiety, that is one of my biggest concerns, because mental health is real.
Right.
And I do not want him to do anything to himself to jeopardize his health and safety for the greater good if he's experiencing anything that is mentally related, that a lot of people can align with suicidal odyssey, like suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies, because the pressure is getting too much to handle.
So Elite Leo says he's going to probably be paid and come back on his Tyrese talking about the medication, his doctors. Listen. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you. I'll read it, but it's kind of
it's a little much. Yeah.
Okay, Marty Ma says, say a name or keep us out the chat. Over. Right.
No, this is actually true. This is what we're all saying. Don't have us on the playground and we can't get to enjoy the fun.
Right.
Of the playground. This is my crisis management coming in. If you know in your heart of hearts that you wanted to do this all along, if you have been behind the scenes working on 8 different moves, that first move should have already been at the police station.
That's the first move. And then
that's the first move.
Spitfire, thank you for the super chat. If women and their nonsense can be believed, so can men. Believe all men.
Listen, we are not saying we don't believe him. We support men that come out about this, because it's actually harder for a man to admit something like this, because the world is tells men to shut up and take care of the family and take care of your household. We don't want to hear no complaining. So it's actually harder for men to actually come out and say this. And if you have been following and reading the comments in his comment section, it is so many people that are supporting him and believing him and not tearing him down and not saying shut up and not saying this is not true. They're actually showing up in the masses to support him because, one, his integrity, his character. If you have that character and integrity behind you, that your entire career, guess what? People are going to stand by you. But if you have been grimy in the industry, people are going to say, oh, we don't believe him. But that is not the case for him. They are showing up for him and believing him, which is commendable and which should be done when men come out and speak, because we need more of them to bring this to the forefront. So if this happens at the hands of a man or even at the hands of a woman, they need to be called out. That's all we're saying.
And attorney Thelma, you also want that person held accountable as a former prosecutor.
Yes.
So you don't want things to be left out there. The support is good. Yes. That should give him the encouragement to know that he's doing the right thing.
Yes, and that exactly. And that's all we want. We just want the person who's doing this, inflicting this pain and trauma and leaving victims from every zip code around, possibly. We want to know them so that they can be held accountable, not only in the court, but in the public opinion court.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're not dropping the evidence yet. We're waiting, but we want to listen to the lead up to it.
My apartment to offer me a job of this fall because the lead of this particular project was going to do something else, so he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him, and I had told him over and over, and he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept something on me. Always. Be transparent with y'all about that.
I mean, every time he grabbed it, I thought he was about to play it. I'm like, wait a minute, he's about to play it.
He kept us on our toes.
You about to play it. He got to record it. Hit the play button. I'm ready. I'm listening. Like, hey,
he kept us on our toes. Listen.
No, listen. He not only kept us on our toes, or he kept us. He kept dangling something in front of us. Nah.
We want to know. We want to show up and support you in the way that we can show up and support you, because we know how powerful individuals in this industry are. We know that. It is one of the darkest industries that you can go into in the entertainment business, especially television, film, music. So when you are telling us that there is someone that is a super predator, and I'm not talking about to little kids, because we all know that. I'm talking about a super predator to adults.
Right.
What is going to freaking happen is more people are going to come forward. We need more people to hold these individuals accountable for their actions, because if you don't stop them, they're going to continue this cycle, and they're going to breed into other individuals who are innocent and coming in thinking that they have finally made it. It's their chance. And then they have to be subjected to the same treatment.
Right. Facts. So people say we don't want gossip. We want facts. We don't want gossip, because this is I can't say. Can we say this is gossip? No, because he's saying this happened to him. Can we say that is a story not fully fleshed out? Yes, we can say the story's not fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
Can we say that we can't let you off the hook with just saying this happened and just doing generalities versus being specific, because now other people may be out there at risk. This is where he stepped out there, Ray. It's too late now. You can't really walk it back. You can't walk it back now, because now you got people that are actually working in Hollywood, working with individuals, are part of productions. And I can just think about people that are on sets right now that are going back.
Are afraid.
They're afraid and don't know who it is. They say, damn, like I sat on the couch, but people could be thinking all kind of crazy things. You just gotta, because enough of this just just saying something without even being specific, because
we need a name.
We need a name. Do we need closure, ladies and gentlemen? Do we need closure? Because we're gonna exclude one person today, but we need closure for the other people that may be at risk. We have to at least, and I know a lot of people work with the individual we're talking about. A lot of people work with Mr. Tyler Perry. So, it was very, should I bring the receipts out now or just wait and just finish playing the video?
I think we should talk about some of the language, the trigger words that he used, and actually laying out his position. Because trigger word, and I was reading some of the comments, they caught some of the trigger words that he was using in order to lay the trap. Like, we lay traps if there's a mice and we got to catch them. Well, we know we got to be strategic and place it in a certain area and put a certain thing on there just so we can get the mice to come and participate in us taking them down.
Right.
So he used several trigger words, and even listening back, we know the trigger word, one of them is distinctive voice.
Well, he dropped some breadcrumbs. I don't know if he dropped breadcrumbs.
When you tell a Black person distinctive voice.
Do I have a distinctive voice?
No.
Damn.
No.
How about now?
You do not, sorry. But when you are talking about distinctive voice and you're talking about an individual just had a documentary, and you're talking about you've worked with this person over and over again, and this had, the same has occurred over and over again, that leaves, of course it leaves open for interpretation, but how many people can we process eliminate?
Okay. Well, I mean, again, that's subjective. Like that's pretty subjective. I would just say a handful. He didn't even say was it black or white.
And that's another thing, because I started to go back. I was like, well, shoot, Harvey was a powerful person back then.
Right. He's allowing people to run wild with assumptions on multiple people, and that's irresponsible and not protecting future victims.
Absolutely.
Saying that, right, and this is what this is the crux of what I've been saying.
Absolutely.
And while because there are people that literally went through this, they have dealt with SA, they've dealt with it, actually dealt with it, that I know for a fact. So you can't play around with something like this. You cannot play around with this, because there are people that are dealing with it today.
Mm-hmm.
So you just can't play around with it, tangling around people's carried around people. You can't do that.
Yeah,
people are literally going with it on movie sets today.
Absolutely.
And you really have to be responsible about this.
Absolutely.
So while there's a lot of support, but what are we supporting actually? Because like there are many people that will come out and share their story, and there are many that won't. But you can encourage those people that will, and that's all. That's all I think.
Let me tell you why it's also dangerous. And if you don't come forward with the actual individual, you never know if there is somebody in hiding that has experienced the same thing that you have. They are going to be afraid that they're going to be exposed. So guess what? It puts not only mental anguish on them, but it puts it onto their family members who are aware of what they went through. Mm-hmm. It also puts it on the individuals who are innocent bystanders, because the public opinion court, the cancel culture court, is definitely having its day. It's having a field day with this, and you cannot go and undo the will. Just like in criminal, when something prejudicial comes out in court, you cannot undo the will. You can't take this back.
Right. And I want to say this. It's I heard one YouTuber say this, a former radio personality, Star from Star and Buckwild. He says the internet needs a body. They need a body to survive. He's talking about YouTubers, content creators need a body in order for them to continue, creating content. What we don't want is just anybody. We don't want anybody. Us journalists, we don't want anybody. We want the body. We don't want anybody, because for people to catch strays for just because someone wasn't specific is dangerous. You know,
it is very dangerous.
It's so dangerous, and you can kill a person's career, and you can't. And then people don't go back. You know this from looking at news. How many times do you see major news outlets go back and do a correction on the story after once the person's arrested, charged, acquitted? You don't see the acquittal part hits the headline. You hear this most sensationalized part hits the headlines.
Clickbait.
So we need clarity. We don't need it.
Listen,
2 years down the road either.
He should have.
He has a statute of limitation with us.
Yeah, and he should have also consulted with a legal professional about, and not just anybody, an individual that has the experience with this. Whether you go to the people that have the name or not, you have to consult with a legal professional, because they would have told you before we do anything, we're taking everything to the police station right away. Because one, we got to protect you above all things. We got to protect the integrity of this information that you're providing. And guess what? It's going to give you credibility.
That's right. That's it. You've counsel, you nailed the nail on the head. You definitely did. And that's the part right there. Let's finish listening to some of his breadcrumbs.
I've done my best to forgive this person, but it happens. It happens. It's not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be men tempting men. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of my posts over the last few years have been about taking the scenic route, taking the long way around, because if that means that you can carry your integrity with you, then, and it's 11:11. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another opportunity to connect with you. Please forgive my sins, my shortcomings, my bad.
Okay, so that's the gist of his recording.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go ahead and let's pull this. I want you to talk about this here. I'm gonna grab this receipt here. Let me first play this here. DJ says, in general, is it fair, unfair that essays happened years ago, but with growth, person change? Should they lose current life because of today's cancel culture, room for people to get help, etc., versus the cancel culture? That's a good question, DJ. What do you say, counselor?
I say absolutely. Because the universe needs to spin the block on you. Because when you decided to victimize a person, regardless of if you decided to change, you had an opportunity to change before you did it to someone. So the fact that you did it, and this person has to live with it for the rest of their lives, being a victim of your inability to control yourself, the universe will spin the block and should spin the block, and you should lose everything.
You're such a prosecutor. You're such a prosecutor. Forget redemption. Forget forgiveness.
Oh, redemption comes after the block has been spent.
Spin the block. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and grab. Okay. Now this is social media evidence. This is social, because this happened on social media. This didn't happen this is social media evidence I'm about to pull up. Okay. Before I pull the evidence, I want you guys that are here watching, make sure you hit the like button. I'm gonna pull the evidence up. I want you guys to hit that like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. Because listen, we did our research, and you can't take this back. We got the screen grab and everything. Make sure you hitting the like button. Make sure you sharing this, and then he's going to have to explain this. And listen, this is social media. He put it on social media, and this is a social media court right now. This is a social media court.
Yes.
Okay,
Evidence has been admitted against all objections.
All objections. Yes, counselor. So let me go grab this evidence. Okay. Are you ready for it? Let me go ahead. Let's see if I lost it. I don't think I lost it. Here we go. Hold on. Let me pull the exhibit up here. Is that it there? What is this here? What is this here? What is this here? Counselor, please read the evidence.
In Exhibit 1, against the public opinions court, watching Christian Keys and can tell he is clearly a victim, only $3,000 to his name and violated by a gay billionaire. And no, I don't believe it was TP, which is abbreviation for Tyler Perry. I wish Christian would have taken action. That man will still have his money and good name, and Christian will remain broken. So in Exhibit 1, what we have is a screenshot of Mr. Keys' Twitter account. And if you are a Twitter pro, you know that you get to review what people actually do with what they like and what they are actually doing on their Twitter. Well, as you can see in Exhibit 1, Christian actually liked this particular tweet from whatever this girl name
is. What it is.
Yeah, that. I ain't even trying. But he liked this particular tweet, and why it's so relevant is because it mentions that this person don't believe it was TP. So Christian actually liked this, which in my opinion is excluding
Tyler Perry.
Is excluding Tyler Perry from the conversation. So now we are left with, well, who are you talking about, Christian? Who is it? If you're liking these tweets, now you can't, if you're going to say that a bot did it, then we need to know that a bot did it. But it does not look like a bot did this because he's been very active on his social media accounts.
So he basically liked the comment that would exclude Tyler Perry. So you are liking it because if you knew Tyler Perry was the culprit, you wouldn't have liked anything. You ignore that. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But you was rubbing it, liking that, making sure, us investigative journalists and lawyers, we're going to find it. We're going to find a needle in a haystack. And we found the needle in a haystack. So get off Tyler Perry, pause, and find you can eliminate a bunch of people, but you got to come out now because Mr. Perry, what happened?
There's a comment saying he blocked people from mentioning Tyler.
He blocked people from mentioning Tyler?
Yeah. Spawn has been in here spawning in these comments. But Spawn stated that Christian has blocked people from mentioning Tyler. So what does that mean, that he's blocked people from mentioning Tyler?
Christian said it's somebody who worked in Hollywood. Tyler has never worked or collaborated with Hollywood, so I don't think it's...
That's not true. That is not true. The movie industry is considered in its entirety as Hollywood.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what he's saying. Let's see. Wait, I pray Christian Keys is not talking about who I think he's not. Man, there you go. There you go. That's the bombshell, ladies and gentlemen. That is the bombshell. He has excluded Tyler Perry. I don't know about him blocking others. I haven't seen that, but that's, this is social media.
Yeah.
So
that's big, y'all. That's big.
It's huge. It is huge.
That's the only thing that we have other than this video that is very suggestive and is not actually confirming an identity. So if you are telling us to follow the paper trail, well, we're following the social media trail. And the social media trail led us to his Twitter. And on his Twitter, he liked a comment that excluded Tyler Perry from the conversation. Now, somebody said that he could be distracting us. That could very well be.
He's playing our face then.
Yeah. But why would he make this whole 60+ minute live video if he wanted to play in our face?
That part. So, and what I've learned in the recent case that I covered, and you can Google it. I covered the bond revocation hearing of Harrison Floyd, who is one of the defendants in the Georgia election case that's brought by District Attorney Fonnie Willis. In the revocation hearing, his Twitter account became evidence that the prosecutors used, and him making a tweet and how other people commented under that tweet. That became a key point in the revocation hearing, where the prosecution pointed out what he tweeted, as well as what others, as the defense pointed out, what others had said. Not him, but what others had said. But the prosecution said, Your Honor, he directly at the two people that worked in government. He also at one of his co-defendants, Jenna Ellis, and the prosecutor said, Your Honor, this is grounds for revocation. He's making contact with these people. He's intimidating. No witness.
Yes.
Witness. Jenna Ellis, she's took a plea. She's cooperating with the government, with the state. Yes. So don't say Twitter. You just using a tweet. No, tweet. That tweet
is admissible.
It's admissible.
In a court of law.
Bang, that's the evidence. And I listen. That is evidence that can be used in the court of law, because we have the evidence that is screenshot where he and a jury will look at the same thing. Why would he like something that is exclusive and come back later and say it? So that is evidence. So you don't make light of the tweet. Social media. This is social media. This is 2023, and social media has come into courtrooms
every day, all day.
Every day, all day in the YSL trial. The lyrics are coming in. What people have tweeted online or put on social media, they're coming in. So don't make light of our evidence that we discovered. Not you.
Our social justice evidence.
That's right. That's our social justice evidence. So don't make light of my co-counsel, I'm not an attorney. Why some of you guys think I am? My attorney, a former prosecutor, and I, the investigative journalists, have discovered that liking could be used as evidence in a criminal probe, or the exclusion of it. Investigators say, well, let's see what else is out there. They will look at this. So why did you like this? And he can give whatever reason he wants to give. But that would hold up in the courtroom. So
if you don't understand that a defense attorney or a plaintiff in a defense against a plaintiff will drag that up and down the stairs, back and forth, over and over again. And we'll nail it down and make the jury digest it over and over again. That is something that is very much highly contentious in any kind of trial when you are talking about money or you're talking about somebody's life and liberty. A defense attorney loves stuff like this. A prosecutor hates it.
Right.
Hates it.
And those who are following YSL, you heard what Judge Glanville said to the jurors just before he dismissed them for 2 weeks. He said, stay off social media. Don't look at social media. Don't do nothing. I wish you would just don't even think about social media, because he knows how powerful social media is. So this was done. The video was done on social media. Christian Keys put his video out. He also engaged on social media, and by liking a comment by someone else who had Tyler Perry in there. So we're going to exclude Tyler Perry.
We're going to exclude. The social media justice court is excluding Tyler Perry because based off of the like that is on Christian's Twitter, that is all we have to go off until he actually names names.
That's right.
So because we get to make the decision because he ain't named the name, so we're going to exclude him until he come out and he name a name.
That's right. So Mr. Perry, I'm sorry whatever you had to go through, but we as investigators and lawyers, we are going to do our own due diligence and research, and hopefully this hasn't brought any unnecessary pain to you in this situation, and hopefully others can be excluded just based on him putting their name out there, that person's name out there, or liking other tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Or liking other tweets. Because at this point, we're going to be tagging you, sir. We're going to be tagging you, and we're going to ask for the exclusions.
Yeah, we need the exclusive Christian, because listen, we want to stand in the gap with you in any way we can, stand in the gap with you, especially with whoever is the individual that's responsible for doing this to you. So listen, can you give us a timeline for when you're going to the police station to turn this evidence over, so that we can know when we should be prepared for this bomb to drop? Because you dropped a bomb on us the other night, had us up all night tossing and turning, trying to figure out what's going on, who did what, and how they did it, and where they going, and we still ain't found nothing out yet. So we want to stand in the gap with you. So if you can do us a favor, Christian, tell us when you're going to the police station so we can prepare ourselves to show up for you the way you deserve. But until then, we are here in a chokehold.
So, Mr. Keys, we would like, as counselor stated, that not only you tell us when you go to the police station, but tell us when you are going to drop these receipts so we can save others. So we can all save others and make this social media space a place where people can get the answers that they're looking for, and not just leave them out there traumatized because of what trauma you have endured. Can you do that for everyone? Because there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that show support towards you. So in return, can you show them that you've done what you have to do, and we can, I know the thing about evidence that sometimes prosecutors and, if there's an ongoing investigation, you can't release certain things, but we need to know that it's, I, as a journalist, would like to reach out to the people in that division to see that it is an ongoing investigation. So give us something to go on and not just, have this dangling out there.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Counselor?
I agree. 100%. 100%.
Any final words?
Listen, I think for the past few weeks, we have seen the floodgates open, and it's flooding on the entertainment business, more so because more victims are coming forward to finally feel comfortable and free enough to express what they have, or what the ordeal that they have went through throughout this industry for years and years. And I'm happy that we're seeing things like this happen, because it gives a new platform for people to be honest, the integrity that should have been there but have not been there because people in power think that they're too powerful to be handled in a way that they mishandle other people. So with this recent development and things that are still going to come, I ask that people show individuals grace, allow them to have a safe space to show up and reveal things that have been traumatic for them for years, and just support them and not invoke your opinion so heavily when you have not been a part of the conversation. So this is a much needed dialogue. This is a much needed conversation that is fair and impartial, that does not tear individuals down, but also bring light to inconsistencies that we need answers to, so that the right people can be held accountable.
So, Counselor, someone's asked, can we drop the link? Would you like taking some questions from people? Would you like to do that?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna drop the link. Thank you, the official Tyrese report, for your bringing attention. I do want the those to engage. I also want you guys to make sure you liking and sharing this. You see what my Twitter is. You can follow me on Twitter. You see what the attorney's IG is. She's on IG. Make sure you follow both of us. But I'm gonna drop the link. And those who want to add to the conversation, because you've been typing in the comment section. Let's see.
Y'all been going crazy.
But we're gonna allow you to come in and actually put a face to it. I'm gonna drop the link right here, and here you go. Let's go. Let me pin that for you. No, I'm about to ban myself. What the heck going on here? Well, that's the wrong link. Let's see. I'm gonna put this one up here. Okay. I'm pin that link. Just had it. So you see the link there. You can click on the link. I'm gonna pin it here. Okay, I'm trying to ban myself. Okay. I'm gonna do it again. Looks like I'm streaming on 2 platforms here. Okay. Okay. All right, I dropped the link. Not pinning, but I don't know why it's not pinning, but I dropped it. Hold on. Let me see, guys. I'm gonna try to pin this. Okay, yep. No, that's okay. Okay, I did it. There you go. That's the link. You guys can go. I dropped the link. The first person to come up, we'll bring them up. You make sure your mic is clear. If you want to get on camera, come on, get on camera. We're gonna allow you to ask your questions, and then talk about what do you think about our evidence, our proof. What do you think about our proof? You know,
It's already been admitted, so it's no exclusion. So
right, the proof is there. We admitted the proof. You guys can come up. You know, you get disagree, agree, whatever the case is. Come up and talk about why you. Either way, you don't have to get in the comment section. Let your voice be heard. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm reading the comments. Listen, you asked me to drop the link. I dropped the link. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Are you coming? Are you scared? You
Are
don't
you
want to
scared?
talk?
Listen,
You can't be scared.
Listen. If we got Mr. Christian Keys has courage, we want to see you come up with spitting fire. You got something you want to add? Come on, spitting fire.
Cause spitting fire been spitting fire.
That's what she does. That's what she does. She got my page hot. But this is your time to come up and say something. I ain't trying to ban myself. What is this? Ask me to ban myself. Why would I want to ban myself? Okay. All right. So, Mr. Tyson, Tyrese. What was it? Tyrese? All right, guys. You got 3 more minutes, and I'm not letting anyone else up. I'm not going to let anyone come up. But you have the opportunity to come up. Okay. So we got Spitting Fire here. We're going to bring her up. Let's go. Spitting Fire on stage. Put a face on the Spitting Fire.
I can't come on right now. I can't come. I got bonnet on. Everything I ain't coming on there.
We gotta see this bonnet. What is
No, you can't. Y'all know my voice. Y'all know my voice. Y'all better stop.
She got a distinct voice.
Yeah, distinct.
Yeah, I got a distinctive voice. I got a distinctive voice. You know what? He was talking about multiple people. He wasn't talking about one person. That's what I was trying to tell people in the chat. He was talking about multiple people. He was giving the story about a time where he wanted someone to invest in his business. And him and his manager went to the office, and he went into a conference room, and he didn't know that the man had an office connected to the conference room, where he said the man was gone for a minute and came out with a robe and some strawberries and champagne. Now you got to figure out who that person is in itself. And then he said that it was an actress. He said he was on the set a while ago, and it was an actress. It was a woman. And she said that she grabbed his junk, okay? And
Multiple
he said,
times.
right, and he said he had to check her, and he said that if it was me, I would have been arrested, canceled, and everything else. Then he said it was some stuff with all the Queensmen and some other stuff where he get killed off the set and all that kind of stuff. So it was multiple people he was really talking about. Yeah. Or whatever, it just wasn't one person or whatever. But he said he got. What I was upset about is, why would you tell them that you got a pen recording? Now, when you talk to people, ain't nobody gonna talk to you because they gonna think you're recording. He should have left that out. Like, why did you say that?
Listen, everybody should assume that somebody is recording them in this day and age. You should automatically assume.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have never said what it was. You get what I'm saying? He should have never just put the pen up there. Like, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, oh my gosh.
That's more than enough reason. Don't you think that he should have went to the police first and then hit us with the receipts?
What you know? Well, you know, a lot of times they go to social media before they go to the police.
Oh yeah, I know
The women started that. So
that's why
now
we're
he
here right
doing he
now.
just following he
right now.
just following the trend of the women. The women follow that. They will out you before a police report. And they don't even need the police report once they out you. You know what I mean? Really, they really don't. You know,
Well, she got a point there.
Yeah, your assassination is already shot and all this kind of stuff. So I just wanted to let people know that it was multiple people he was talking to. Now, the business part of it, my personal take on it, I think he was talking about Mr. Smith. I mean, I just
we're not naming names. You're not naming names.
Okay, that's why I said okay. Mr. M, S, what RS? I have to think of the alphabet.
I want to let people know we're not naming anyone's name. We're not guessing. We're not doing that. Just
talking. No guessing either. Okay.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah. I know a lot of you YouTubers like to do that, but
Christian hasn't given us nothing. He just given.
But he didn't. Now, this is just my opinion. That's why I said my opinion. I want everybody to understand. I'm saying my opinion. This is not the opinion of Hip Hop Inquirer. This
you're
is
a lawsuit too.
Yeah, that's right. And I ain't got no money, so I don't care.
Allegedly.
This is all alleged, and this is just my opinion of Spin Fire, not of Hip Hop Inquirer. But let me go. You see now. You see I can't. You see how I bring the people with me.
Listen, they were coming. They were coming. Trust me.
I see you, Dennis. I love you. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, Spitfire. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
All right. We got Tyson first, and then Dana. Well, Dana, then Tyson. Dana, what do you add to this conversation?
Oh, you said you had me after Tyson, or you want me to go now?
You go now.
Oh.
That's the Dana. What you add to this conversation means you.
Okay. Pretty much from being on set with Christian Keys, and this is not the first time that he's spoken out about it, but it's like he's been ignored a lot. And it's like, even when we was on Saints and Sinners together, Christian had multiple breakdowns about this. And the one initial that people was thinking and has never came up. I just know he have a big riff with the initials that I put in the chat. And then I just got a message and before I came up here, but that pretty much he have another riff with another director as well out of Houston. Can I leave that there?
Okay.
So there's a lot going on in the actors world, but I'll tell you this. If you want to get to the pinpoint of everything, watch Christian, but also watch Terrence Howard. Because Terrence Howard is telling a lot, and they trying to really silence him. On top of that, look at the for the Actors Guild. Because as Terrence Howard is going after the Actors Guild, it's pretty much putting everything that's been happening behind the scenes for years against actors out there.
His issues with the what he got paid,
his agents.
He's going after his agents and how they pretty much screwed him.
That's one of his lawsuits. But his other lawsuit is against AFTRA and SAG.
You were saying, Counselor?
No, but the lawsuit with the agents, what it appears to be on his face is they had this agreement outside of Terrence Howard and never let him know. So they're actually capitalizing off of him while they're feeding him crumbs. And
right.
You can't do that. You cannot.
Right. Well, a lot of us went through that on Star. A lot of us, because I don't know if you watched the show, but I was on Star and for 2 seasons. And I was Queen Latifah bodyguard as well as the record label bodyguard. And it's like I'm supposed to be getting royalties from that and myself. Ain't get nothing. I got paid $4,000 each season. And that's after taxes. That's $4,000 each season. And I was told, because I went back and I said, well, I'm supposed to be getting an extra $12,000 for my speaking part. even though it was like 7 lines, but in season 2, but that's what they got paid for that.
Right. You're
But
supposed, you're supposed to get paid for 7 lines.
huh?
You're supposed to get paid for 7 lines.
Look, but what they did was for the major lines, and they used a voice overdub for it. And they said, "Oh, we don't got to pay you nothing." But I said, "Well, that's my likeness, my image, and everything." And they was like, "Oh, take us to court."
Well, that's a issue. We'll do another live about that and negotiation and position yourself like beforehand, because obviously I worked on movies,
Right.
Dutch, so I worked on movie sets, and I understand and worked on contracts. But let's talk about that on another live. But thank you for providing.
Thank you for providing us the information.
Tyson, you up? What's going on?
It is Thais. It's like Tyrese, but no.
Thais. Oh, you know something? I'm blind, so it's Thais.
No, it's Thais. It's like Tyrese, but no R.
Okay, all right. Thais.
And I just want to say that this whole thing that Christian Keys did, it made absolutely no sense. It really did. The reason it made no sense because you're putting forth a lot of stuff that you don't have to put forth without even taking in consideration that you're giving somebody a head start. If they want to cover up something, if they want to shore up some of these loose ends, you've done that by giving them a head start. The whole thing makes no sense. And if it's the person we say it is, right, or people are alluding it is, this person really can't be bankrupted. They can't. I mean, it's like they own their name. They own everything about themselves. Their image can be tarnished. Their name can be sullied, but they're not going to be like other people that are currently in this situation. They're not going to be stripped of anything because they own everything about themselves. They own it all. So it makes no sense to be out here giving out these preemptive evidentiary shots and you haven't shored up any of the loose ends, or you're not. It's like you're pumping yourself up to do it in a Instagram like therapy session.
True.
And it really made no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope the young man really knows what he's doing, because these are people with some really long money. And I don't think, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think the days of bumping people off are really as prevalent as they used to be. But there's a psychological warfare that people can play on you, where they will have people following you and getting in your head and all of that. So you have to really be careful and know what you're doing when you go after people like this.
Absolutely.
But I just want to ask, that was the receipt though, the like tweet, because I got here late.
That was it. We deal on social media.
Okay. Okay.
That's social media evidence, and it's also admissible in court. Also
all right. Well, thank you for having me, Dennis. And I understand, as a YouTube creator myself, I understand the importance of basically not mentioning these names, because YouTube is on fire right now and everybody's just really reckless right now with these names and putting them out there. So I totally understand.
Yeah, I have to be on the side of caution just because of what I do professionally. And, a lot of people say, well, I don't have anything. They can't get anything from me. Well, that may be true in the short term, but long term, it will definitely play a factor in your credibility.
Yeah,
exactly.
So Thais, I appreciate you. I definitely agree with what you provided today. And again, while people are not getting bumped off, well, they are still getting bumped off, but
yeah, they are, but not in the like back in the day. You would wake up and somebody say somebody just got ran over, or somebody was found in a hotel room with pills next to them, and it was like that was odd. But I think they do it a little differently now. They ain't gonna be so blunt with it nowadays.
Right.
Well, again, thank y'all for having me. Great job, counselor.
thank you. You have a good
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right. Well, that was interesting. You know, that was interesting. Different takes. Different.
Yeah.
People. I think that adds to the conversation.
Mhm.
Hopefully, this will aid Mr. Keys in making his decision on how his next steps will be. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, we just again want to put this story to bed. You know, for what it was worth, and allow you know, and this by no means anything I say today should be construed as me not believing him, but more so
Mhm.
him being more responsible in the way he does this. Because while many people are cheering him on, they don't really have a face to why they cheer him on, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh last words. This is your last words, counselor, because I'm gonna take us out of here.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We got we got some
Oh,
we got some cool stuff coming up.
yeah.
You guys just gotta be locked in. Make sure you're following us because just turn your notifications on because we may just pop up here. We got some breaking stories that we're waiting to. We're doing verdict watch. We're doing we're covering cases. I'm gonna be doing another live discussing some of the cases that I've been covering that you guys have been watching. I've been covering from inside the courtroom, so I want to also come back up and talk about that, and have obviously my co-host will join me. But today is Sunday. I don't know what you guys are doing, but she and I got some more research to do.
Yeah.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we are out.